Hey everybody, Chris from Thundercats of Grayskull. Today we're going to be taking a sweet look at the new Chronicles Movie He-Man. Let's see if it actually holds up to everything else that Intel's been producing. Stay tuned. Alright, here we go. In packaging, the He-Man from the movie. Nicholas looking, it's a good rendition. Looks pretty good so far. We're going to get an even more in-depth look at him. Sorry about the glare there. Alright, let's do a little spin-a-rooney with the box. Let's see what we got going on. Well, just from the opening front, we have wonderful depiction of him as He-Man on the side. And if everybody can't tell, we have the Eternian writing right here and also on the side of the sword, saying He-Man. And we'll go to the side of the box where Skeletor is. And if anybody hasn't picked up on it yet, let's see if we can't bring that in just a little bit. We have more Eternia writing with Skeletor. And yeah, I'm imagining that says Skeletor because that's still an E. By the end of it, we'll end up having the full alphabet of Eternian writing. Alright, let's move on to the back of the box over here. He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. After uncovering the power... Yeah, I'm going to edit this. After uncovering the power sword, Prince Adam transforms into He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. The champion of Grayskull returns to Eternia to free his people from the evil clutches of Skeletor. Got some nice posing going on here. We have a lineup of Wave 1, He-Man, Man-at-Arms, Triclops. Now let's move off to the side over here. Another depiction of him. So, what do you say? Let's get him out of package. Let's get a better look at him. Nice. Got some lovely detail going on. I've really got to give it to him. Mattel has really picked up on their detail. Now, some of their anatomy work needs to be a little bit better, but overall pretty good. I mean, really good likeness for the actor playing He-Man, so can't really knock it too much. I see some deco that could have been done, like on the back. Bring him in, like that is same pattern as the bottom here. That could have gotten hit, but it could be paint rub, who knows. But overall, spin him back around. Let's get him into a couple of poses before we do a little bit more thorough of a breakdown. Here we go with the most iconic pose for He-Man, him holding his sword aloft after he summoned the power of Grayskull. And I must say, he holds up very well in different poses, like the figure's able to balance himself. As you see, I'm over here turning it on the lazy Susan, which is really good. And on a side note, apparently there's two different versions of this that's out. You have the one with the cordite crystal where it's clear, and then looks like mine where it's cloudy. So anybody out there figure hunting and they're looking at all the variant ones and looking for the perfect one, you take your pick. Whether or not, if you can find the clear one, there you go. If you don't mind it being a little cloudy, you got that too. And here we go. We got him in that jumping pose, kind of like what we saw in the trailer going on with the stand that came with the 2000X He-Man, which is holding very well. But look at that. Very well. Alright, so let's take off all these accessories. We're going to do this on camera. We're going to see how easy it is to actually, swap out the hands, take the accessories off if you wanted to do a little kit bash or do some modifying. So let's give it a go. Alright, we'll start off with the hands, see how this runs. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Alright, yeah. That came out pretty well. Nice. So, we're also going to do that with the other hand. That came out pretty well. Okay. Alright, we got two clasps in the back here. There we go. Let the camera decide that it wants to catch up. There we go. Yep, right here and right here. So, let's take those off to see how easy it is. Okay. Not too bad. Not too bad. Alright. Well, looks like we have that age-old problem. We have to take his head off. Alright. So, let's put his head back on. Let's put the hands back on. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Coming off. Alright, let's get the other hand back on there. Cool. Alright. And underneath, I mean, still brown and whatnot. It looks like he's just like the other ones. I could be wrong here. I was about to say that I thought that in this way it would be the gladiator style skirt, not the fur loincloth. I thought it was like most of the Masterverse figures where it's actually in between the hips and the lower abdominals. But I don't know if y'all can see that. Let's see if I can get it better. There it goes. See how it's separated right there? It looks like it actually is two pieces. I could be wrong, but I don't want to chance it right now. Maybe later. So, I mean, but the buck-wise, it looks good. Looks good. They get nice little butterflies to it. So, let's see how much he bends forward. But the real test is, can he do this and stand? Can he support his own weight? With it back, bam, okay. Because who knows, you might want to have it where he has his hand out and he's trying to help somebody up. You never know. Let's see how far back he can go. It's about as far back. We might have to move him a little forward. Hey, holds himself pretty well. The quote-unquote deluxe articulation. I'm kind of digging. I'm liking it. We still do have the double elbows, the double knees. We have the ball peg with ankle articulation. Cool. I'm loving the detail that they got going on right here. Loving it. So let's stand you up there for a second, sir. Let's take a look at some of this. That's nice. I like how they actually gave it, you know, kind of rivet style and layered all through there. His sword holder, you know, is actually a part of it. That's good. They put a lot of detail into this sculpt, which was really good. I can't really expected them to do that. But overall, it's not too bad. I mean, there's certain things I would have done differently, paint-wise. Especially with the sword. Especially with the sword. I don't think it's shiny enough. It's got that, I don't know, it's kind of got that marble look, because you can tell, if you look at it, you can tell, like, or maybe it's just me being right here, but you can tell where it is, where it kind of changes color, kind of like marble does, whatnot. Might see what we can do with that. On the bracers, they still got that. They did really good. I kind of wish they would have did that kind of uneven, you know, bracer kind of style, like what He-Man is known for, except for in the Filmation, where he has like the, you know, the stacked bracers. But other than that, I gotta, you know, I really do have to give it to him. I'm liking what I'm seeing here. I'm gonna give y'all a nice little 360 right quick of He-Man. Yep. They have some good muscularity features to it. I gotta give it that. I mean, as far as him, as far as how it, you know, I'm looking at this figure like it's supposed to be portraying, you know, the actor in his role as He-Man. So I'm not anticipating him looking like, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger or anything. Even though He-Man, yeah, definitely was inspired by the golden era of bodybuilders. But hey, I gotta give the actor major credit. He busted his tail for a year working out, dieting. That is not easy. So how about we get everything back on and then we do a little comparison. Oh, and one more thing, now that I got them back together, and I remember this about the articulation with the new Chronicles line. I am also enjoying the fact that they actually gave a whole neck movement to it. So he, you know, so he can look like he's rocking. Like he's at a club just enjoying himself. Yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying the new articulation. It's very much reminiscent about what, how the X-Men, you know, the recent X-Men line's been doing, what McFarlane's been doing with theirs. I think Mattel's just been trying to gravitate to more of that, trying to get in line with everybody else, so everybody is all upon the same thing. Or maybe with the fact that Mattel, it seems like Mattel's trying to, you know, get more license, that it's like, okay, everything's in scale, so we can basically have her own multi-universe, which would definitely explain all the crossovers that we've had, especially with the Origins line. Kind of like use those as a tester, because the only big line was actually the TMNT. Everybody else has been kind of short-waved. Well, I gotta take that back. They did do Rulers of the Sun. That was pretty much the full line. But I digress. That's for another video. But I'll be right back and we'll get into comparison time. Alrighty. Well, seeing as though it hasn't been officially stated that the fact that the Chronicle line is the successor to Masterverse, but with the fact that Masterverse is all up in the air, I'm calling it, saying that it's a successor. So let's see what we got. We got the Revolution He-Man, and we also had the 40th anniversary here. I just kind of wanted to keep it Mattel base for a moment here. Now, let's take a look. I mean, aside from, the obvious, the extra articulation, you can actually move the waist around and everything, compared to Masterverse, where everything was pretty much cut at the waist, and when you turned it, I mean, we'll show you. You turn it, and all of a sudden you have that. There was very limited waist articulation. I mean, still had the double knees. You still had the double elbows. Sculpts look. The sculpts look good. They're really detail oriented with the Chronicles line here. Whoopsie. See, look, I tapped him. Oh, thank God. Hopefully he won't. Hopefully I'm kind of happy with that right there, because of one thing that every collector fears when we're cleaning, dusting, or setting up figures on a shelf: the domino effect. You know what I mean. One gets out of whack and he trips up and it just tumbles a whole bunch of them down all at once, and you're just like, oh. We've all been there. But I digress. We're going to take a side profile of everybody for a moment. Yeah, I like the improvements in which they've done. It looks like, as far as the hip is concerned, yeah, it has an origin style hip, so you don't have a hip cut. See, I'm gonna have to find something for this. Haha, paintbrush to the rescue. Thank you. Okay. So as you see right there, you have, it's kind of like your origin style hip. It doesn't have a thigh cut to it necessarily. I mean, there is some type of rotation, but it isn't like what we have with Masterverse, where the whole thigh, is intersecting next to the hip. Like, we'll use the 4th anniversary as an example. Where we can turn that and then cut it back. Which, I mean, it's okay. That's cool. I wish they would have actually gave that little, way you had to actually swivel the hip inside. It right there would, be a lot better, especially for posability and action shots. So let's turn Revelation He-Man around. I like the fact that, I got to give it up to them. They did pretty well with it overall. I mean, I'm going to give him... So, giving him on a scale of 1 to 10... I think the sword needed to be painted. They did really good with the chest. I wish it would have been a little bit brighter. Maybe like a chrome mixed with a black wash over top, just for the creases. But that's nothing I can't do on my own. But as far as out of the package figure, I'm giving him a solid 8. I'm giving him a solid 8. Did really well. I'm liking the likeness. There's just, some nitpicks that I have. The sword should have been, in my eyes, they should have spent a little extra money and really made it chrome, especially with the fact that in the trailers in which we've seen, the sword is chromed out. I mean, it's almost close to a mirror finish, kind of, but it has some blue and purple accents to it, which is really cool. If they would have done something like that with the sword, that right there would have been amazing. I mean, even with the Revelation He-Man, I mean, they still tried, and they gave it a little, cut distinction. But, and, I mean, when Revelation came out, they were what? Once a little less than $25 a pop. And the new Chronicles line what was it, like they're 27, so they're almost $30. So, I mean, you're definitely getting your money's worth with the figure. I mean, with the new buck, the new sculpt being a lot more sharper and on point. I mean, they didn't cheap out on deco hits, meaning like the little each rivet on him, each little rivet, how they're painted. That's a deco hit. These little emblems right here, deco hit, more rivets. They did good. I mean, you got more deco hits up here. You have all of this that had to be painted, and that. Go to the back. Ah, now they're fighting. I mean, you got all the deco hits here, here, and then for each of the rivets and whatnot. So, I mean, for the price in which we paid for it, I think, you know, it was definitely well worth the money. But there are things that I do want to do to it, and being customizer, oh yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to see what happens with it. All right. So that right there was my review of the new Chronicles Movie He-Man. So, are you going to get him? I mean, I know he's in stores right now. Are you going to get him? Or is the price point just a little too much for you? And in all honesty, I mean, I haven't stopped playing with him. I haven't stopped moving him around, putting him in different poses and whatnot. He's a really good figure. Like I said, there are certain things that I'm going to end up doing to him, but I mean, that's on my taste. So let me know down in the comments. Are you gonna get the figure, or you know, is it you're just motoed out? You don't have enough shelf space back there. Going, I'm already crammed. I don't have any more room for them. Or, you know, is it one of those you're just waiting until the movie, you know, see if the movie, if it's a hit or a flop? Let me know down in the comments. And remember, by the power of Grayskull, we uphold the Code of Thundera. Later, everybody. Catch you around.